understands the feeling of the futility of this exercise year in, year out, because he himself has expressed those frustrations that, in fact, after we do all this, nothing actually is followed by anyone. From your contributions, it sounded to me as if this disbursement schedule is just a suggestion to the National Treasury that they can, he used the word a guide. And the Honorable Speaker, I was listening to him keenly. He said that this Senate introduced this tradition of passing a disbursement schedule in 2015, when he said that at that particular point in time you would find 50% of the money due to counties going only to counties only at the end of the financial year. But Majority Leader, the question I'm asking myself, because when I read the report of the committee, they are still talking about 42% of the money that was meant to go to counties in the 2024-25 financial year having been disbursed in the final quarter. Are we really making progress with this piece of legislation? So, Honorable Speaker, you look at the schedule that is attached to the report. It creates this image that because Nairobi has been allocated 21.4 billion shillings in this financial year, 1.7 billion shillings should be released to the county government of Nairobi on the 15th of each month. On the 15th of each month. But this has never happened. As we speak today, I think the county governors are telling us in the County Public Accounts Committee that the last disbursement they received was for the month of July. So, Honorable Speaker, we are asking ourselves certain questions. If indeed this document is supposed to tie the hands of Treasury so that there is a predictable flow of funds to the county governments, why is it never respected? And that is the reason why I was telling the Majority Leader at the advent of this debate that it would have been better for us to spend more time on the questions and statements and say the things that need to be said, because this one, from my perspective, is an exercise in futility. Even in your own personal life, Honorable Speaker, if you don't know when and if you are going to be paid, how do you plan yourself? How do you know when you're supposed to receive the money to pay your rent, to buy food, to be able to take your kids to school? It is very difficult. And in fact, Senator Khalwale had made a suggestion here that we should tie the hands of Treasury further and require that they disburse this money. I think he said every month, or I don't know what he said. But for me, in view of what has been happening with our county governments, my suggestion would actually be that this money be released every quarter at the beginning of the quarter, so that the county governments can be able to have at least a 3-month supply of resources to be able to take care of the jobs that they've been given to do under the Constitution. Now, Honorable Speaker, we have always argued that the National Treasury has never understood that it is not a national government treasury, that it is a treasury for both levels of government, so that from their behavior and conduct, one can be almost persuaded that they do not consider county governments a priority. The National Treasury does not consider money that is supposed to go to county governments a priority. So they will do other things. And because we live in this country, Honorable Speaker, we can see where the other money is going. You know, 3/4 of the budget is retained by the national government, and we can see where the money is going. How can you host 10,000 people at once, and all of them live with 10,000 shillings? Where are you getting that money? Where are you getting that money? If a governor were to pull such a stunt, the EACC would be in his office tomorrow. But we are seeing it. Every single time, huge delegations being hosted and being given money. So, Honorable Speaker, if we were to starve the national government of that money and give these counties the same, Honorable Speaker, we would do better. There was a claim here, I don't remember which financial year it was. People made a lot of noise saying, oh, for the first time, counties are up to date. This is this new administration. What happened to that? What happened to that? Where are we with that? Because it was not true. It was simply not true. So therefore, Speaker, we are not saying that we do not have problems in the county governments. I myself, as a senator of Nairobi, when the committee report on the public accounts was brought here, you saw that Nairobi has the largest fiduciary risk. You saw that we have the highest spending bills of over 100 billion shillings. Honorable Speaker, we have staff here who have not been paid for months. And all of them, they come to my office all the time. They say, oh, we have not received this, we have not received that. MCAs are on our necks as senators here. There are no capital projects in their wards. The ones that were concluded, the roads, Honorable Speaker, the contractors have not been paid. That debt, that pending bill continues to grow. What have we proposed at CPAC to deal with some of these issues? Senator Halwale will be happy to know that the County Public Accounts Committee has proposed two things. First of all, we are going to do a list of shame for 10 counties. 10 counties that have repeatedly violated the public finance management laws and the Constitution. And we had an engagement with the Treasury, CS, John Badi, that we were actually going to recommend stoppage of funds for these 10 specific counties. But then, Honorable Speaker, the paradox is, how will the county government feel the pinch if in the normal course of events, they receive money 3 months later? Because the Constitution gives us, when you stop funds, the Constitution gives you a window of 3 months. You stop funds for 3 months. The governors are telling you, we have not received funds for 3 months anyway. So even if you order stoppage of funds, they will not feel it. But we need National Treasury to cooperate with us so that when we put these mechanisms in place, they actually work. I have heard also the majority leader lament about this opinion polling that ranks various governors and even members of parliament. And at County Public Accounts Committee, we have actually suggested and will be proposing to this House that the best ranking for county government performance can only come from the Senate. It can only come from the Senate and its committees. You combine all these reports of all these counties, Education Committee, the Health Committee, the County Public Accounts Committee, and then you as a Senate can give an objective ranking as opposed to these posters who, as you have had accusations flying around from the majority leader, are not very reliable. Honorable Speaker, on e-government procurement, I also want to just add my voice to the sentiments that have been expressed by my colleague from Narok, that in fact, that EGP, and I believe there was a court order that stopped the implementation of that EGP, but because this government is not known for respecting court orders, they have chosen to ignore this one as well. We want to advise the National Treasury that nobody has anything against technology. Nobody has anything against deploying technology in procurement. In fact, we believe in its ability to be able to bring greater transparency to some of the happenings. And when majority leader referred to the SHA system, I was just laughing because immediately this government realized that Kenyans are going through every payment on the SHA website. What did they do? They pulled it down. They pulled the system down so that we could not see which hospitals they were paying. So if we do not have a national commitment to fighting this vice, let us not pretend that technology will come in and be the panacea to all these problems that we have been facing. I want to agree strongly that the e-procurement can be deployed separately without any one government level having to exercise jurisdiction that it does not have over the other governments. So let us have our own EGP at the county levels, let the government at the national level do its own. So, Honorable Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to conclude by saying I support the report of the committee.
Senator Sh10K.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. From the onset, I want to support this motion. I think it's more of ritual or procedural motion. But, Madam Speaker, I want to correct a misconception that was advanced by my neighbor senator on that when we are on dates with girls and wives is that they pay our bills. They don't. In fact, Madam Speaker, I want to present as statistics that as the neighboring county, we have rescued many girls from Luhya Nation, the neighbors, by marrying a number of them. If you come to Nandi, we have a quite number, which means the Kalwales and the likes of this world are doing badly. Because we are very generous. We are very generous and supportive, Madam Speaker, as you are aware. So in that